I just want to say, at least on behalf of me and my family, I thank God all the time that it was George W. Bush in the White House on 9/11 and not Al Gore. And not only did he keep us safe, but no matter what you want to say about weapons of mass destruction, Saddam Hussein was in violation of UN resolutions, an open violation, and the world wouldn't do anything about it. And George W. Bush enforced what the international community refused to do. And again, he kept us safe.
All right, joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Richardson, former New Mexico governor, former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, and former U.S. Energy Secretary in the Clinton administration. Hello, sir.
How are you, Steve? Nice to be with you.
Always nice to talk to you. So let me ask you, where do you fall? You heard what Marco Rubio said in response to Donald Trump blaming George W. Bush for 9/11. You know, I played earlier in his own words, Bill Clinton saying that he could have gone after bin Laden, but he didn't bomb him because he was afraid he'd kill some civilians. And he was quoted as saying that Sudan at one point offered to hand him over, but we had no indictment on him because he hadn't actually killed any Americans, so he turned him down. Does Clinton bear responsibility for keeping bin Laden out there and not doing away with him before 9/11?
Well, let me answer your question. First of all, those quotes by Rubio in South Carolina, the reason he's saying them is George W. Bush is quite popular in South Carolina, so that's a political side. My view is that while George Bush did not do well in Iraq, I think the invasion was ill-fated. After 9/11, I think George Bush responded well, responsibly, enhanced our domestic security, established the bureaucracy to handle domestic terrorism. I'm not going to fault him there. You know, the bin Laden, I think Obama deserves that credit. He went after him. You know, that stuff about Sudan and the indictment, you know, that's very murky, Steve. But my view is, look, I'll give George W. Bush credit for America's response after 9/11.
Okay, and as far as the day before 9/11, ironically and sadly enough, Clinton saying he could have gone after him. He knew where he was, but he didn't want to launch rockets because he might have killed 200 civilians. And then he said, "I'm no better than he is." I mean, that's hard to swallow right now, isn't it?
Well, you know, I remember when I was UN ambassador, I went to the Taliban, and bin Laden was there. The Taliban was taking care of him, and one of my objectives at the time, instructions, was to try to get bin Laden extradited to the United States. The Taliban wouldn't do it. You know, there's a lot of back and forth, and Clinton did want to get bin Laden. So you know, Steve, a lot of he says right now. I think the main point is we got bin Laden. George W. Bush deserves credit for what happened with our response at 9/11, especially institutionalizing the bureaucracy to respond. I disagree with the invasion to Iraq. I think that we're still paying for that. But, you know, these are very tough decisions that presidents have to make. All
right. What about the Democratic side when you look at Hillary and Sanders, and you've seen the debates, you saw the bare victory, hardly a victory in Iowa, and the trouncing Hillary took in New Hampshire. She's leading now in South Carolina. But what do you see as we move forward here?
Well, I see Hillary Clinton victory in South Carolina. Look, South Carolina, Nevada, Super Tuesday, these are states that have a lot of diversity, African Americans, Hispanics, unions, the base of Hillary Clinton's support. Sanders did well with white liberals, progressives in Iowa and New Hampshire, little diversity. Look, I think that the race will go down, not end right away, but I think Super Tuesday will be Hillary's strongest area. But I see Hillary winning both primaries, not rolling over immensely,
right.
But I think her background as a commander-in-chief, foreign policy experience, and also being on the side of working families, she conveys that. I think the debate performances she's done get her out of the problems that have been caused.
Governor, sorry so short.
Yes.
Great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, Steve. Take care, pal.
You too. We're coming back, folks. Don't go away. Your calls.